If you frequent saltwater aquarium stores, you've probably come across one of these. This is a brown banded bamboo shark egg. Inside, you can see the baby shark breathing and moving around. You can also see the yolk sac here, which is where the shark gets its food from while developing in the egg. Once the shark has consumed the entire yolk sac, it will leave the egg through the opening here. These sharks are one of the most common ones that you will find in an egg in a store. They reach a maximum length of approximately 3 to 4 feet, and they can live up to 25 years of age in captivity. So I would say the same thing that I say in all of these shark videos. Keeping a shark as a pet is a very big commitment. It is very difficult to rehome them, and they will grow to their full size regardless of the aquarium that they are in. Unfortunately, most of the time, they will pass away from being in too small of an environment. On my YouTube channel, you will find quite a few shark rescue stories where myself and my good friend Matt Hyde rescued overgrown pets from people's homes. There have been many. Some of them, luckily, we had room at the time to keep them for several years before we found a suitable home for them. So be sure to do your research and ensure that you're able to make the commitment that is required in order to have these species thriving in captivity, as they deserve nothing less. Okay, so how do you raise one of these? This is a captive bred epaulet shark egg. I'm actually going to show you the former inhabitant of this shark egg in particular as an example as I show you how to raise a baby shark in captivity. There are 5 main things that you need to know. 1. How to handle the shark egg. The shark egg has an opening here. This allows for circulation of water. If you take the egg out of the water, the egg will drain and air will fill the egg. This is not good for the shark. So in order to avoid this, be sure to always have the egg fully submerged. If you happen to get an air bubble in the egg, very gently squeeze the egg case under the water on its side. Be very careful. You only need a slight amount of pressure in order to get the air out of the egg. Only handle the egg if you need to check on the shark. Otherwise, the less you handle it, the better. 2. Where to put the egg. Some people like to hang them in their aquarium from a clip like this one. If you do, be sure to clip it from the side or the bottom so that the shark will easily be able to swim out once it's ready to. In the wild, they are usually resting on a rock or on the sand bed. This is probably the best place to put it if it is in an aquarium on its own. 3. How to figure out when the shark will hatch from the egg. Each species has its own gestation period. You can look them up online. This is also dependent on the water temperature, so be sure to do your research and maintain stable conditions to ensure a successful gestation period. Another way is to see if the yolk sac is completely consumed or not. Under no circumstance should you ever cut the shark out of its egg unless you see it having a hard time exiting the egg case. If the shark gets out of its egg too early, you are putting it at risk for infection and potentially premature death. The shark will wait until the umbilical cord site is 100% healed before it will exit the egg. Sharks that do not have that area completely healed can easily get an infection. 4. The best place to raise a shark. In my opinion, the best place to raise a shark is in a grow-out aquarium. This way, you can easily observe it, it can get used to seeing you, and you can easily monitor its food intake. You can keep it with another baby shark, but I would recommend waiting until it's regularly eating. Larger sharks will eat smaller sharks. It's just what they do, even if it's the same species. So never raise a baby shark with a larger shark. A good general rule of thumb is that if it will fit into its mouth, it will probably end up there. Only introduce sharks to one another once they are large enough to not fit into the other one's mouth. Here's the setup that I have. In my sump, I have lots of room to raise a baby shark if need be. Currently, Link is being raised in here. Once Zelda is large enough, she will join him. And once they are both large enough, they will join Fatty and Yoshi in the main pond. 5. How to get the shark to eat. If the shark does not eat frozen food right away, you will want to get some of these. They're called a number of things, but ghost shrimp and grass shrimp seem to be the most common names. They are a freshwater species, so they do lack certain nutrients. This is meant to stimulate the shark's appetite. You want to get them to eat frozen food as soon as possible. I like to soak the food in this stuff. It contains a lot of vitamins and nutrients that will help to supplement the frozen food and ensure that the baby shark is getting what it needs in order to develop properly. Sticking to the if it fits in its mouth, it will eat it rule, ensure that the food that you are feeding the baby shark is small enough to easily fit in its mouth. And those are the 5 essentials that you need to know when raising a baby shark. I have an entire online course on keeping sharks if you're interested in learning more. I will leave a link to the course in this video's description.